USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Icy Hot Pro with 2 max strength pain relievers. Targets multiple pain receptors. Ice works fast, heat makes it last.
Welcome to 4.0 to Pro, the pickleball podcast that focuses on a single shot, tip, or strategy to improve your pickleball game with every single pocket-sized episode. Our goal is to make you better on the court every time you hear our voices.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 4.0 to Pro, your pocket-sized pickleball podcast, where we teach you a single shot or strategy every single episode. I'm Michael O'Neill here in blisteringly hot Long Beach, California. And today I'm not joined by anyone. I'm just joined by my dog barking at other dogs. Cha is taking care of his father. If you haven't heard, his father passed away suddenly last week, so he's dealing with that unfortunate situation. And it's actually okay because I've got a somewhat controversial topic, and the way I can deliver this particular topic is going to be different than how he delivers the topic. And what I would like to do is give you my base version of this, and then we'll have him come along and do the super pro technical version of this, and we'll get the best of both worlds. So this will kind of be a two-parter. Before I jump into that, guys, guess what? We're having a camp in Dallas, Texas. 402p.com/camp. 402p.com/camp. We are more than halfway sold out of the camp already. But if you guys would like to join us, we do a camp that's unlike any other camp you've ever been to. It is very incredible, if I do say so myself. And I do indeed say so myself. And I'll tell you, it's very focused on a lot of the stuff we talk about on the show, which is court positioning, having your paddle prepped and knowing the shot to hit in the right time, how to communicate better with your partner. All those things that we talk about regularly on the show is things that we talk about in the camp. And what we saw at the Fort in Fort Lauderdale in May or June or whatever it was that in the 3 days that we had people, we watched them get loads better. We just watched them transform how they approach the game, and that is what we're trying to get away with. So if you guys would like to join us, 402p.com/camp. 402p.com/camp. So today we're going to talk about something. If you've paid attention to the show for the last couple of years, one of the cardinal sins in pickleball was a cross-court speed-up. So you got a ball, you want to fire it, you start a little instigation, a little attack. You fire it at the person cross-court, which because it's cross-court, they have more time to wait until the ball gets to them. They can kind of load up on the counter, and your poor partner, you've hung them out to dry. You've just found yourself off of their Christmas card list because you've just sped up right across from them, and that person sits on that and fires a ball right into their chest, and they go, bro, what was that all about? Why would you do such a thing to me? What I'm seeing now, and I'm curious if you guys are seeing it as well, you can DM me on Instagram or email or whatever you want to do. I'm seeing these full send cross-court speed-ups happening now at every level of pickleball. And these are generally about, I want to say about net height, maybe a little below, maybe a little above. Certainly if it's any higher than that, you can go anywhere you want with the ball. But these are like, I've just been watching Kate Fahey do it in the MLP finals like 50 times. In fact, between her and Anna Lee and Anna Bright, I'm seeing all of this instigation happening cross-court, which has not typically been the case for the last couple of years. And I think that the kicker is, the big differences are, and what I want to do with this show is just make you aware that these things exist, give you some examples of when you could maybe try it, but more importantly, I think than everything, how to defend against it, because you're going to see it. At every single level of pickleball right now, there are people that maybe never learned not to speed up cross court. So they're just doing that anyway. But I think the difference is paddle technology. Over the last couple of years, paddles have gotten spinnier. They've gotten significantly more powerful. So if they can turn on a ball, so they got a ball that's maybe a bit of a hanger or a floater and you're in the middle of a dink rally, they're turning on it, whether it's backhand or forehand with a two-y or a one-handed forehand, obviously, over the lowest part of the net, the middle of the net, firing it right at the torso of that cross-court person. And really, the onus is on that cross-court person to be able to handle this ball. That has been the most difficult part, I think, of all of this, is that you've got to really be ready. If you identify first, and I think that's where to start, am I playing with someone who does this? That's the first thing to figure out. Is a ball hanging up in the middle a little bit or a little high for them, and they're not afraid to turn on it and rip it at my partner or at me? Does it exist? So first and foremost, you have to figure out if this thing is a threat. It's not always a threat. Sometimes people can't get away with that. If they don't hit it hard enough, meaning if they're not firing it directly at your body, kind of full send, it's very possible that you'll have plenty of time to get out of the way of that ball, which is probably going wide. Depending on where they targeted it, it's probably going wide because cross-court speed-ups go wide. The court gets very, very short in that direction. However, what I'm seeing, and again, I'm totally curious if you guys are seeing this as well, these are balls that aren't easy to get out of the way. These are balls that are fired directly at the torso of someone, and it's really up to them. If they can get out of the way, great. I'm just not seeing that capability from a lot of the people that are around me, or even at the MLP level. They're coming in so hot that they just don't have enough time to duck out of the way of that ball. So I want to really differentiate, and this is where Mircea and I have been having conversations about this. This is different than a standard instigation / speed up, where you'd have a target, you're aiming for that right hip or going crossbody or something like that. That is very much the surgical precision speed up that we've all come to know and love. And those are also happening a little more cross-court these days. And that's the thing I want Mircea to come in and talk about the next time he's available, are some of the nuances of where to attack. If you're going to attack cross-court, which generally we say is not the greatest idea, but if you're going to, where should you put that ball? Where would the targets be if you're a 4-5 plus player? If you're under that, or if you're seeing someone that is full sending and they're making hay out of it, it's working, well, then we got to figure out how to handle that. So first and foremost, if you get a ball that's net height and you think you can turn on it and fire it, give it a go. As long as you're not aiming for someone's head and decapitating them or blinding them or something, give it a go. If they're able to move out of the way, or if it doesn't work for you, then stop doing it. It's not going to be your shot. But if you happen to have like an out of the air two-y that you can turn and fire that ball, or you've got a nice forehand where you can turn and fire that ball, still keep it low and accurately target that person on the cross-court side, give it a go. See if you've got some offense there that you can generate. Because what we're really looking for is we want your partner to know that that's coming, first and foremost. I'm going to be trying this a little bit. Let's see if it works. They should know that you're going to do it, because chances are, if that person can't handle that ball, it's going to pop up right in front of your partner, and they're going to be able to do something with it. So the fact that you're going to attempt it, or at least maybe you're seeing them attempt it, all right, now I should know that my partner's going to attempt this shot. Let me be ready to put this ball away. It's going to pop up. I need to be ready for that. Footwork's got to be there. You've got to be balanced and ready to go. And this is also very possible that if you try this and you don't do it correctly, and you're playing against someone who's very good and has very good counters, so you don't hit it hard enough, let's say, and they see it and they can tee up on it, well, they're going to put a ball right into your partner's chest. And that, again, will get you off their Christmas card list. So that's when you know it's not going to work. What was the idea behind this particular show? The reason I decided to do it, because I do play with a couple of guys, one of which does this all the time. He turns and fires. Dwayne, shout out to you. Turns and fires on the ball. He's a big dude. This is a 240-pound dude who's 6-something, who may be a bull in a china shop, but will turn and fire that ball at that person and does pretty well with it. What I saw happen with this particular shot is my partner, who was not used to him, kept trying to counter it. And it's just not possible. I shouldn't say it's never not. Maybe it's Annalie Waters or somebody like that. But his ability to properly first recognize that this ball is coming and then get ready for that counter and then get the ball struck and released properly didn't happen. The ball, every single one of them went into the net. He was late on all of them because the ball was coming in so fast. My recommendation for this is first, if you've recognized that this is a threat, being stable. This is the thing we've talked about for 2 years on this show. Stable base, stable base, stable base. Being stable for this ball coming at you is 98% of success in getting the ball back over the net. Being stable. You want your legs planted, your knees are bent, your torso is stiff, your arms are stiff, and you're just blocking this ball back. You don't need to move your paddle really at all. You just need to hold it up and put it in the direction you want it to go, basically. But to try to do something with it is going to limit your success rate because now you're only giving yourself a fraction of a second to make proper contact with the ball. And if you're just holding your paddle there and just firing it back with their pace, because they're ripping it, remember, you're going to do a little better with this shot than if you really try to counter it. If you find yourself where the ball's going a little bit too far into the court, maybe you're hitting it too long, which does happen. Like they fired at you, it bounces off your paddle and goes a little deep. In fact, you could hit it out. It's got so much power on it. Just loosen your grip a little bit. That's all you got to do. I still want you to maintain a really stiff posture. Your whole body is still and it's planted and nothing's moving. You're holding your paddle right where the ball's coming and you're just blocking it back into the court. If it's going a little deep, loosen your grip up just a teeny little bit. And it will drop that pace of the ball. You'll suck up that energy with your slightly looser grip. Having a really loose wrist or too loose of a grip or a loose arm is going to result in the ball going into the net. Unequivocally. You're going to take too much energy out of the ball. So you want to give some of that energy back to go over the net. And really, that's it. There's not much to this other than you got to pay attention right now. And this is worth watching. If you're watching some higher level players, just start keeping an eye on YouTube. If you watch those matches, start keeping an eye on maybe not like low level rec play, because in my opinion, they probably didn't know not to do this in the first place. But if you start looking at these higher level games where these people are 4-5 plus, and you start seeing this shot emerge, it's because it's starting to work. What's happening in pickleball in general is people are trying to generate offense in places they were not trying to generate offense before. We're seeing it with fifth shot drives. We're seeing it with cross-court speed-ups. We're seeing it with those kinds of things that are resulting in pop-ups until the higher-end pickleball community gets used to it and figures out a way to counter it, which will happen. This will eventually equalize and neutralize like many of the other things happen in pickleball. So that's it. That's all we got today. It's just I want you guys to pay attention. Cross-court speed-ups, give them a go. Don't kill your friends. Don't hit them in the head. But give them a shot and see how it goes. And if you can make some hay, make some hay. Score some points, win some pickleball games. That's it. Guys, join us at camp. 402p.com/camp. Love you. You guys keep on rocking. We'll see you.
Thank you for listening to 4.0 to Pro. For more tips, find us on Instagram at 4.0 to Pro. If you have a pickleball question, submit it at picklehelp.com. Now, get out there and dominate. But don't forget to have fun.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Becoming the most valuable sports franchise in the world doesn't happen without risk. A man who's willing to bet it all, and the players ready to make their own luck. America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, is the story of the 1990s Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones's impact on NFL history. featuring interviews with iconic 90s players and more. Watch America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, streaming now only on Netflix.